The Hyundai Inster is the smallest and cheapest electric car Hyundai has ever built, and for 2026 it hides a secret that embarrasses cars worth twice as much. Here it is. This little box, barely 3.8 meters long, travels up to 229 miles on one charge. That is further than some electric cars far bigger and far dearer. So stay with me, because over the next few minutes, the cheapest Hyundai on sale sets out to prove it might also be the cleverest. And if you want the honest answer before you spend a penny, subscribe, that is exactly where this is heading. Start with the way it meets you. Parked on this show floor in bright two-tone orange, a black roof above black lower cladding, it looks less like a budget runabout and more like a shrunken, tough little SUV. Across the nose runs a band of pixel-shaped lights. The same square-eyed signature Hyundai gives its far pricier electric cars, shrunk onto a face small enough to make you grin. Below them sit two big round headlamps, dropped low into the black bumper. It stands tall and square on chunky little wheels, with little green flashes on the pillars and slim roof rails up top. Nothing about it whispers corner cutting, it speaks character. Open a door, and the trick carries on inside. The dashboard is built around two wide screens laid side by side, one behind the wheel, one in the middle. The panoramic setup you expect 3 price brackets higher. Both run wireless smartphone mirroring, so your own phone simply appears on the glass. Here is the clever part, and it is the opposite of a gimmick. Beneath those screens, Hyundai kept a row of real, physical buttons and dials for the heating. On this car, even the steering wheel warms itself on a cold morning. The controls your hands reach for most stayed proper switches. In a world burying every function in glass, that restraint feels genuinely grown up. Look closer and the cabin keeps things simple. Hardware in gray cloth and plain plastics, yet everything you actually touch feels built to last. And then comes the party trick nobody expects from a car this small. The back seats do not simply fold, they slide, each one moving on its own set of rails by a full 16 centimeters. This is strictly a 4-seater, 2 up front and 2 in the back, so those rear passengers trade legroom for luggage, or the other way around, whenever they please. Push them forward and the load bay grows from 280 liters to 351. Fold everything flat, front seats included, and you can stretch out almost like a tiny camper. In a car shorter than a Fiat 500, you can free over 1,000 liters of space. The floor sits flat. The cabin is dotted with clever little cubbies. There is even a system called Vehicle to Load, which lets the Inster push power back out of its own battery to run a laptop or boil a kettle at a campsite. If a small car built with this much thought is the kind of thing you want to see more of, come along, because finding them is exactly why this channel exists. Now, how it actually goes. There are 2 versions, and the difference matters more than the badges suggest. The standard range pairs a 42 kilowatt-hour battery with 97 horsepower and around 203 miles. The long range steps up to a 49 kilowatt-hour battery, 115 horsepower, and that headline 229-mile figure. Neither is quick, and the Inster never pretends to be. 0 to 62 miles an hour takes about 10.5 seconds in the faster car. Reviewers who have driven it keep landing on the same idea. It is happiest darting through a city, not chasing a back road. So Hyundai spent its money where a small car actually lives. On a rapid charger, it climbs from 10 to 80% in a little over half an hour, drawing up to 85 kilowatts. Plug it into a home wall box overnight instead. And most mornings you simply unplug and leave with a full battery. A heat pump comes as standard, which is unusual this cheap, and it means a cold morning barely dents that precious range. And here is the part that surprised the testers most. The range holds up in the real world. In mixed, warmer driving, they have watched the long range settle around 215 miles, close to the official promise. Sit at a steady motorway 80 though, and it falls closer to 140. So think of it as a car that sips in town and drinks on the motorway, exactly like the big electric cars do. But before you fall for all this, there is a catch, and it is the whole reason to keep watching. Living with it looks just as sensible. Hyundai wraps the whole car in a 5-year unlimited mileage warranty and the battery for 8 years, in a class where 3 years is often the ceiling. Insurance sits low, around Group 21 to 23, so a young driver will not be frightened away. The only running cost that stings is the road tax every electric car now pays, £10 in the first year, then a flat rate of just under £200 after that. On paper then, the Inster looks close to unbeatable. Here's the honest part. That tempting headline figure buys only the entry car, the one with the smaller battery and the shorter range. It opens at £23,495. The version you will genuinely want, the long range with those sliding seats, starts closer to $26,700. The rugged Inster Cross, with its raised ride and tougher body cladding, climbs past $29,000. That is Renault 5 money for a car from the class below. What Hyundai chose was to build a proper, long-legged, versatile small car instead of a stripped-out cheap one, and you quietly pay for that choice. So how does it sit against the cars you would truly cross-shop it with? Line them up on price, on range, and on space, and here are the results. The Dacia Spring will save you the best part of £7,000, but it tops out near 140 miles and gives up nearly everything the Inster offers. The Renault 5 is the darling of this class, a touch cheaper to start and prettier to many eyes, with a bigger 326-liter boot. Yet it cannot slide its seats, and it cannot match the Inster for sheer flexibility. The Citroen EC3 undercuts them both on paper, but trails on range and feels plainer inside. On these numbers, the little Hyundai keeps winning the argument that matters most, which is how much car your money actually buys. So which one should you choose? The one to have is the long-range Inster, the 49 kilowatt-hour car from around £26,700. It is the version with the real range and the sliding seats, and it is the one that makes the whole clever idea sing. Skip it though, if you regularly carry 5 people or swallow long motorway trips, because it seats only 4 and slows on the fast roads. If either of those is you, look hard at the roomier Renault 5, or save your money with the humbler Dacia Spring. Score it honestly, and it lands at 7.4 on the Auto TV score. Not because it is fast, but because it is so quietly, thoroughly thought through. So the Inster is no tiny compromise. It is small car, full effort. It is not a big electric car shrunk down to hit a number. It is a proper Hyundai that just happens to be tiny, which is why the cheapest car in the whole range may quietly be the smartest thing the company builds. And if you are cross-shopping it, the one car it truly fears is the Renault 5. Our full review of that little French rival is waiting for you right here.